Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all doing okay in quarantine and hanging in there. I just wanted to pop on and talk to you about why I stopped doing YouTube for a little bit. I took quite a bit of a break and I kind of just want to address it and talk to you guys about like why that happened and what I did to get to where I am now, feeling good and ready to start producing videos again. So the first reason, it's kind of obvious, quarantine happened. And all the videos that I had made literally from like March to June, they just didn't really seem like they made any sense anymore. I had tons of content batched out because I, again, didn't really want to be shooting while I was in wedding season, but wedding season never happened. And all the videos that I made didn't really make any sense anymore. And so I kind of just scrapped those. And second, I just like didn't really know what to say or how to help during this time. I felt like it was super insensitive for me to come on here and be like, here's how you can be productive, like here's how you can do this, you should be working on this when your business, because like right now is pretty traumatic for a lot of people. And yes, some people are dealing with that by like being productive and working on their businesses in the back end and like improving and stuff like that, but some people just can't do that, and I think that's totally valid and fine. And if you're not being productive right now, it makes a lot of sense. Like, this is a traumatic experience. This is not what you're used to. It literally took me 2 years to be able to work from home effectively, and you've been given like 50 days now. It makes sense if you are not doing well with it. So I just didn't want to come from a place of like, you should be doing this, you should be productive. I really wanted to come up with a place like, if you want help, here's what I have to give you. But I just didn't really know how to approach it, didn't know how to help, didn't know what to share. And the third reason, which is kind of like the most true reason, like non-surface level E, is that I felt super self-conscious about these videos. I like, even at the end, I didn't even share them on my Instagram, didn't let anyone know that they were posted, anything like that. I just felt like weirdly shy and weird about them. I don't know. I think I posted about it like on my Instagram for a second, like, do you guys think this is like self-promotion-y? I don't know, it just felt weird. One thing that made me feel weird was that like I felt like it was pretty uncommon for like somebody to just be like, hey, here's a bunch of free education, like enjoy. And then when I tried to promote it, it came off as like really self-promotion-y, which I didn't like, because I'm like, this is not for me. I mean, yes, I have so much fun doing it, I feel really good helping people, but I'm not trying to like gain anything from this. And so when I shared them, I'm like, huh, this feels kind of fishy. Like, if I was watching me, I'd be like, what's this girl trying to do? But yeah, so I like got in my head about that. And then I like started to really compare myself to others, and it's just like a spiral, and I just like didn't want to do it anymore. And I was just like, YouTube doesn't inspire me anymore. I'm not gonna do it. I don't feel like it's a good like way to connect with my people, blah blah blah. I don't know, I just came up with this like random answer and to make me feel good in my head as to why I shouldn't do it anymore. And then I don't know, quarantine went on, had a lot of time with my thoughts, you know, and I realized that that was total BS and I was just making that up, and I just really felt self-conscious and I needed to deal with that and address it and move on and then start making videos again. So I'm just gonna go into that a little bit more and talk to you about what's going on in my head, because I know that a lot of people starting their business have a huge fear of failure because it's terrifying to start a business, and failure is a very real thing that can happen, and it sucks and it's not a good feeling, so it makes sense to be scared of it. But everyone has it, and if you listen to that, you're never gonna accomplish anything freaking cool, so you better just push that to the side so you can get to work. So I'm just gonna talk to you guys about it a little more. First of all, when I said that I was self-conscious, it was about like promoting and that kind of stuff that I talked about, but it was also like the quality of videos. Like, I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be yet. This is my first time doing it, this is my first time doing video, and I just was like, wasn't really liking what I was producing. And I saw all these cool people and they were doing all this cool stuff, and I'm like, why am I not doing what they're doing? Like, how are they so good at this? And it was that classic thing where I was like comparing my beginning to their middle, or even like their middle to end. Like, they were very experienced and this was like my first week of doing it, and I was like, why am I not there? And I'm like, because it's my first week. But I am like super hard on myself, so that's just how I saw myself in that light. Like, I'm like, God, I suck at this and I'm never gonna be as good as them, and blah 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 blah. And I just fell into that comparison trap a lot, and it even got to the point where like seeing anybody who was in my field's work, like, I just made me feel down about myself. I got so in my head. It was super weird. I've never been like that. I've always been like super excited to see other people succeed, no matter if they're in my field or not. And it wasn't that I wasn't excited to see them succeed. I'm so genuinely happy for the people who are freaking killing it. It just made me feel not as good about myself at the same time, if that makes sense. And that was the first time that's ever really happened to me, and I did not like it, but I think that it happens to people a lot. I think that's why everyone always talks about the comparison game, and then I really felt it, and I'm like, wow, you guys are right, this sucks. Okay, to get over that, I pretty much unfollowed anyone who like didn't inspire me anymore, that didn't make me feel good about myself, that made me feel like I was comparing my beginning to their middle, etc, etc. I just unfollowed them. Wasn't worth it. I don't need to be following them. I don't know these people. They're just random people on Instagram that I had been following because I thought their work was cool, and their work still is cool, and maybe when I feel a little bit better about myself I can go back and follow them, but that is just not right now. So I just kind of cleared out my feed, which was really nice, and I followed people from like completely different interests of mine instead. Like I followed a whole bunch of like home design people, which is so funny, and I followed a whole bunch of like travelers and like writers and like all these really cool people, and I kind of use them as like inspiration, and they don't make me feel bad about myself, and I think that everything they're doing is really cool, and I draw from that inspiration on different ways, which I really like now. So that helped a lot. Obviously clearing out your feed is something that you should do regularly, because if people aren't serving you, then like why are you following them? But yeah, so I compared myself a lot, but I also just still didn't really believe in myself and was super self-conscious. And it took me a lot to get from like really being down on myself to here making this video, but I kind of just want to talk to you more about like what went through my mind. And what comes to mind now is that I really kind of had a kick in the butt when I was like, how do I expect these people to learn from me if I don't believe in myself and what I'm teaching them? Like, that's just a disconnect. Like, if I can't believe in myself, how am I gonna have anybody else believe in me as an educator? That makes no sense, you know? And I think that a lot of people go through this with wedding photography. Like, if I don't think I'm as good of a photographer as like all these people, and I'm really down about my work and stuff like that, like how do I expect clients to hire me? Like, if I don't feel good about my work, what makes me think that they're gonna feel good about my work? So I think confidence goes a really long way in like your overall happiness as a business owner, and I also think it's represented in your work, and I think you can be a lot more successful if you are confident and if you exude confidence. Like when I go to client meetings, I'm so different now than how I used to be. I'm so much more confident, and I can say things that I know are true, and I know that I'm good at my job, and I can represent myself so much better than I used to be able to do, and be like, I hope you like these pictures, this is what your wedding could look like, here I am. And I just think it's helped my business a lot to actually believe in myself, but it's taken me a while to believe in myself on this end. So again, what helped me a lot was to take a step back and do things that are completely different from this that help me feel confident in myself. So things that I did were like stay off of YouTube for a hot second. I would go for hikes, which I really like because they help clear my mind. They make me feel good about myself. They make me feel confident. I would go for walks with the dogs, nice long walks, just kind of get out, eat healthier. I would shower in the morning. I would put clothes on, real clothes instead of like my grout fit that I always wear every day, which is super comfy and it's really hard to part with it. But sometimes when you want to feel good about yourself, you have to change your clothes. I've learned. So I started doing that, and then like I just started feeling better overall. Like my mental health improved a lot, and then I started to really realize like, oh, I'm not doing YouTube because I'm like not inspired by it. I'm doing it because I wasn't feeling good about myself, and now I do kind of feel good about myself, and now I feel like I can go back to it, which is kind of funny to me that like feeling better about something didn't have anything to do with improving the skill. It just made me feel better about being where I am and working on it. I think there's something to say like, this is the beginning of my process. It's gonna get better, but it's not gonna get better if I don't try. And I think there's the same with a lot of things. Like if you want to be the best wedding photographer out there, then you have to go shoot weddings and you have to learn. And sure, maybe you're not going to charge a lot at the beginning because you're still learning, and that's totally fine, but you still have to go do it. Having that confidence is just so important for how you move forward and just how you're living your life. And I honestly just feel so much happier that I'm like getting this off my chest and trying this out, because like I'm like, oh nice, I'm not scared anymore, which sounds super cheesy, but it's like in my mind it's actually like a big accomplishment, because I hate being vulnerable and I hate doing things that I'm not perfect at. It freaks me out. So the fact that I'm doing this and I'm like, hey, I'm not very good, but I hope you guys watch me anyways, is kind of my worst nightmare, but we're doing it and we're here. So yeah, that was just kind of a short video to show you guys like where I am at, how I got through this time, which is pretty much just like doing other things to make me feel good and separating myself from the things that were making me feel bad, and then returning to what I was working on, which are these videos. and to let you know that I will be posting more because now I'm not as scared, but encouragement does go a really long way. So if you guys watch this, make sure you like it and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment or whatever. Shoot me a message on Instagram if you've ever felt these feelings too, so I can know that I'm not alone. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video made you feel a little bit less alone if you're kind of in a slump right now, and I'm excited to make more videos for you in the future. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.